Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to have all of you here today. Today is the first day we are going to be celebrating the Juneteenth holiday, and it's a very special day for our city of Peabody. I'm joined by a number of my colleagues in city and state government that are here, and I appreciate all of you joining us today for this important ceremony. We do have our State Senator Joan Lovely. We have our state representatives Sally Currens and Tom Walsh. We have Jim Mitsoulis, our Ward 3 councilor, Peter McGinn, our Ward 2 councilor, and Andrew Arnotis from the school committee. And I also did want to recognize Julie Curtis. I saw Julie. She's from our Democratic State Committee. Thanks, Julie, for being here. So this is a proud day for me, a happy day for me. We will be raising shortly the flag for the Juneteenth holiday above the city of Peabody. And although this is the first time we are celebrating, this will be a celebration every year going forward here in our community. I do have a proclamation I'm going to read shortly, and I'm going to turn it over to some remarks from our state officials. But I was doing a lot of reading on Juneteenth, looking at some of the other celebrations that were done throughout our country, and I was really touched by some remarks that were made yesterday by a gentleman named Andre Morgan over at the City of Beverly celebration for Juneteenth. And he talked about that this is a holiday that's really specific to the African American community in our country, but this is really a day for all of us to celebrate, all races to celebrate, because this is a day that slavery officially ended in our country. That moral crime of slavery ended here in our country, and this is really a victory for all of us, all of humanity, all races, all people here in our country. And that's why I'm very proud to be here with all of you as for the first time we raise the flag above the city of Peabody. I do have a proclamation I wanted to read. Whereas 2021 is the 156th year of Juneteenth Freedom Day, a nationally recognized day which celebrates the rich culture, legacy, and heritage of African Americans. And whereas Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the abolition of slavery in the United States, dating back to June 19, 1865, where Union soldiers led by Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, with news that the war was ended, freeing the enslaved. And whereas this was 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which became official on January 1, 1863. And whereas today, Juneteenth Freedom Day, celebrates African American freedom and achievement while encouraging continuous self-development and respect for all cultures, as it takes on a more national, symbolic, and even global perspective to ensure the events of 1865 are not forgotten. And whereas in 2007, Massachusetts became the 25th state to recognize Juneteenth Freedom Day, with the firm understanding and realization that all cultures share a common respect for freedom. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Edward A. Betancourt Jr., Mayor, do hereby proclaim that every June 19th will forevermore be celebrated in Peabody, Massachusetts as Juneteenth Freedom Day. We strongly urge all residents of the city to recognize and celebrate annually this nationally recognized commemoration which honors the history, legacy, and culture of African Americans throughout our city. So thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be providing this proclamation to the North Shore Juneteenth Association very shortly. I wanted now to ask our State Senator Joan Lovely to come up and say a few words. Senator.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here today to celebrate the legacy and the continuing legacy of Juneteenth. To think that back in 1865, when our President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, but in Galveston, Texas, over 250,000 black men and women and families did not earn their freedom for another 2.5 years until 1867. It just seems unconscionable. And I attended Beverly's Juneteenth yesterday. It was a beautiful ceremony. I'm so proud to be part of the City of Peabody's Juneteenth celebration today. And as we move forward, that we continue to support our black brothers and sisters and families. We still see our families of color lag behind in education, in health care, in housing, in food insecurity, and other matters. So let's all pull together and be one nation. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Senator. Thank you. I wanted to ask our State Representative, Tom Walsh, to say a few words. Tom?
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, everybody. This is really quite an incredible story when you think about it. And as Joan alluded to, 2.5 years it took for the message to get from Washington down to Texas. But today is the first time in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we have a state holiday recognizing that hard-fought freedom. And I just think that, you know, for me as a state legislator, it was a great honor to be part of that House when we adopted this legislation. And to see it come to fruition, and today was our first celebration, is really a terrific thing. Next year, hopefully it will be a federal holiday, so the entire nation will be celebrating what we're celebrating here today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Mayor, for making all of us part of this. And to all, always remember that freedom is really hard fought for. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Tom. That was great. And I also wanted to ask our State Representative, Sally Currens, to say a few words. Sally?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the City of Peabody for inviting me to take part today. Just for a minute to add my congratulations to the city for taking part in a celebratory holiday, Juneteenth, and this is part of that long haul towards a more perfect union. And it really began when Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, only to find out it would take 2.5 years for word to reach everyone, every enslaved man, woman, child. So we're still on that road to full rights and recognition and equality, but today is a day when we celebrate the resiliency of Black families, Black voices in their quest to take their place in America, and it's a wonderful celebration. I congratulate the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally, for those words. That was terrific. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is a holiday that we will build upon here in the city of Peabody, but really a proud day to move forward and raise the flag and have everybody celebrate this day with us. So wanted to ask my state officials, city officials to help me as we raise the flag for the holiday Juneteenth.